Hello, hello, hello to anyone who is here. Starting a tiny bit early so that it's not as annoying when I take a brief break to post this everywhere. Let's see. I don't think we've got anyone here yet, so that is all right. I won't launch into anything, anything major. Just going to share on Instagram and make sure that my volume is not on everywhere. Oh, hey, Billy Bandit, how's it going? All right. That is shared. Three watching, hello, hello to anyone who is just joining, anyone who's already been here. Hello, Stephen. Cannot be first again. Holy crap or holy crap? I always think that's entertaining when that typo happens as someone with the name Holly. I'm like, wait, what? Just a heads up that I'm feeling kind of off today. I'm very tired. I've been very tired all week. I just like all my sleep has just been light sleep. So I'm getting to bed on time. I'm sleeping enough, but I'm not actually getting any rest. So so I'm in a state right now. And I even slept in. I slept in. It didn't help. So I'm probably going to nap after this. And I have not only do I have my gothy coffee, the present from my friend Jamie, I've also got my guru focus. So the coffee, I usually on stream days, I usually try to wait to have caffeine until the stream because I'm one of those people who has caffeine and a lot of the time it can just like knock me out once I'm finished. So I try to wait because I don't want to be tired beforehand, but I was tired getting up and I was tired through yoga. It didn't wake me up or anything. So I've been nursing this coffee all morning and then I'm going to get into my energy drink. So apologies if I'm a little, but at least we will be writing for sections of this, so I'll be able to turn my brain, I don't know, not off because I'm supposed to think while I'm writing, but you can see how I'm behaving right now. Nap during the sprints. You finished your book yesterday. Awesome. Congrats. Editing chapter one, and it is hard. Yeah, editing can be, yeah, it can be either really good or really bad. Oh yeah, it also doesn't help that it is really hot in here. Our property managers have not figured out how to manage things properly. Like we don't control our own heat in here, which is, nice because we don't pay for it because it's all managed through them. But at the same time, we have to suffer sometimes. And so we had this hot start to spring and they turned off the heat, which was great at first, but then it dipped into normal spring where it got super cold and rainy. And so so I kept waiting. I'm like, are they going to turn the heat back on? Because you can see the forecast that it's going to go for a few days. But they waited until like the final day of it being cold, then turned the heat on. And now that it's 20 degrees again, it's just sweltering in here, even though I have the window open. So that is not helping me at all. Are you sure it's not the energy drinks? Those will put hair on your chest. No, energy drinks are my only help in the world in general. Coffee messes me up a lot. I just have this because I refrigerated it, but energy drinks just sort of keep me even and good. And from the research I've done into them, they're quite like, depending on the ones you're drinking, like these are quite healthy. They've got like lots of green tea and plant-based stuff. And I don't drink any of the ones with tons of sugar in them. So yeah, although I know that coffee is good for women, which is why I try to drink it and I like the taste of it, but I'll drink coffee and it's a coin toss. Come for the writing, stay for the delusion. It's a coin toss every time I drink coffee because sometimes it'll perk me up a little bit, sometimes it'll knock me out, sometimes it'll give me a ton of anxiety. So if I could afford it, I would just have an energy drink every day. And I have done that sometimes, but I know that it's just not good for my budget. And I'm trying not to spend money on things I shouldn't spend money on because I'm putting all my money into the Stygian Society right now, which is far more important. Before we get started on sprints, I am just going to drop a couple important links in the chat here, and I'm going to pin them so that people can have access, because I know that sometimes when I'm sprinting, I'll invite people to Discord and things like that, and then I have to pause and put an invite. So I'm just going to, and same with like the Kickstarter. So I'm just going to stop and put these links here now, so that they can be referenced. Join Discord and check out Kickstarter. Okay, I'm just going to pin that. So anytime I reference these things, all you have to do is look at the pinned message. So to just address them, I do have a Discord server if you're not already there. I do sprints, just like text sprints, not video sprints, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we've got around 100 people now, so it's been growing. Everyone is super nice. And if I'm not sprinting there, other people will be sprinting. So there's usually going to be people online for you to sprint with or talk to, collaborate, get inspiration, ask questions, etc., etc. Hello, Dreaming Truth author, how's it going? So I just did my old person glance at the chat here. Also, second link, I have to shill for a moment here. The Kickstarter is still going for the Stygian collection. We have 24 days left. So we are in our last month. We're under a month, and we still need people to participate, to join in and help to fund this project. So if you want to get a book in advance, get some merch, you can also get books. One of the add-ons we have, you can get one of my books for a more affordable price than usual. You can also get Pays books. Click the like button. Yay! Yes, everyone who's here, please remember to click the like button, please, and thank you. For anyone who is new, excuse my harebrained behavior right now. I'm very tired and very hot. So that is either going to be entertaining or annoying. Hopefully the former, not the latter. I'm just glad that I'm going to be editing for chunks of this. Oh yeah, also I'm fighting a headache, and I get ice pick headaches. I don't know if anyone else here gets ice pick headaches, but they're kind of terrifying because they just suddenly will like hit one spot in your head and be like ding, 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 like an ice pick in your head. And I always feel like I'm going to have a stroke or something like that. So we're having a good time. In the realm of writing camp, what constitutes a mosquito? Ice pick headaches. No, in writing, mosquito. Well, I guess it depends on your equivalent of a mosquito. Like, what level of annoying do you think mosquitoes are? I would think maybe those brief, like, writer's blocks, something like that, where you're just stuck on a sentence and you can't quite get past it. That would be a pretty good camp mosquito. Before we sprint, as I've already said, we're going to do a 15-minute sprint first, just so you know, and we might stick to 15-minute. We might wind up with a half hour. We'll see how we're all feeling. Next week, I am organizing the concept that we had discussed on a previous stream, which is a sort of around the campfire camp horror story theme. And I'm looking for people who are writers and who have ghost stories, but things that they have personally experienced. So I want to hear like firsthand accounts. So I've got a few messages that I have to respond to, but that is the plan for next week. And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. So basically what we'll be doing to wrap camp up is sprinting, and then between those sprints, telling ghost stories. So and feel free, if you're going to be there next week, to bring your own to post in the chat, because that's going to be the general theme, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Oh, you get those two immediately aneurysm. Yeah. Like, and I have a little bit of that in my family. And one of the problems is I had major jaw surgery when I was 19, like hardcore jaw surgery. And I thought I must have surgical steel in my head, but my surgeon told me that I couldn't have any like magnetic scan. Like I can't have an MRI, but I think I can have a CT scan. But the doctors I go to now, they're like, oh, well, no, there's no way that you would have something in your face that would react to the magnet. I'm like, yeah, but my surgeon told me that, and I don't think there's any way to check. So I can never get a magnet scan. I can get x-rays, and I think it's a CT scan, but I still haven't got one because the doctors in Montreal are super weird. And if you go to them for anything, they're like, you're too young for that. Like I'm in my mid 30s. I think I can be a little concerned about my future health. I think that's probably a good thing, not a bad thing. Anyhow, I don't think I'm in immediate danger, so don't worry about me. But I think it's also important to just be like aware of your family history and things like that so that you can potentially catch things early. In my case, I will need to bully a doctor into helping me with that. So is everyone ready to write? I hope you are. Let me know what you're working on. I'm going to be editing again. Like I said last time, I had a plan to be outlining a whole new book, but instead I've gotten drawn into editing my last draft, which is something I need to do anyway, so it's good. And I'm enjoying it a lot. It's really nice. So we're going to do a 15-minute, and I'm going to try a different music category, and hopefully it's not awful, because the one that we've had the past couple times is very repetitive. It has like 8 songs that just play over and over, and then there's a couple in there that are just like not good. So I'm going to play around with that and see if I can find a channel that has more options and sounds a bit better and stuff. I thought classical would just be good, but they don't have that big of a library. No ghost stories, but letters from the Internal Revenue Service scare me. That is definitely terrifying. Okay, with that, let's start a 15-minute sprint. And yeah, let me know what you're working on. Feel free to chat. I probably won't look until I am finished the 15 minutes though. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just editing. See you in 15 minutes or talk to you in 15 minutes. Oh boy. First sprint down, and I got through 3 pages, so that is not bad. Faster than usual because they were all fine. There were only a couple things I needed to change, so there wasn't too much to deal with. How did you all do? I hope it was a good start. Oh, hello, Bonsart. How's it going? It's nice to see you. And I know I owe you messages, but as I've been complaining about, I've been exhausted all week. Like usually I'm good at least like getting things done in the morning before work. I'll be up and I'll like do yoga and then I'll get energy and I'll do a bunch of stuff. And I haven't had a single day like that this week. So everything has been a struggle. But I'm hoping to get a bit of a reset in this weekend and be back to normal on Monday. Stephen, you had a question. If you could change the ending of any book you ever read, what would it be and why? And what ending would you replace it with? That's that's a tough question for me because first of all, I have a terrible memory. So I don't remember every book I've ever read, and I don't remember details of it. I also have had periods of my life that I've like blacked out years because of certain traumatic things. But that being said, if I think about recent stuff, and I'm trying to read more these days, like I feel like I'm really good at picking books that I'm gonna like because it's been at least a decade since I've hurled something at the wall or not been able to finish it. And even if I don't love it, I'm sort of like, yeah, that was fine. But I do remember really not liking the girl on the train. And I can't remember what specifically it was about the ending. I think it was kind of, and I also don't want to give spoilers accidentally, but from what I remember, it had this like really interesting lead up, and then the climax was not that great or was too predictable, something like that. But that is the last book I remember reading where I was kind of disappointed and left at the end like, oh, okay. And I think so I can't say what I would have changed it to because I don't remember details of things. I was a terrible comic book geek when I was working at the comic store and with conventions because one of the things in that subculture is like remembering lots of details, and I can't. People would be like, "Oh, remember what happened halfway through this thing?" I don't know. Show it to me and then I'll remember. Yeah. It's not good. I need to do like memory exercises or something. So I can't say what I would have changed it to. Probably something a bit more complex, more of a twist, from what I'm remembering here. Sorry if that's a lame answer. Right now I'm reading Narnia, and that is just like I enjoy every bit of that, but it's not exactly a complex read. Feedback on the submission stuff. Yeah, I did see like a little bit of what you sent, and I'm looking forward to looking into it. So I will be able to do that maybe tomorrow or maybe this evening after I get a nap in. So how did we feel about that music? It's more positive than I usually like. Like my writing playlists are very moody, melodic, classical. Generally, I want them to evoke something as I'm writing, and that sort of like do 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 doesn't do much for me. But I guess, as long as there aren't lyrics, it's fine. Maybe I'll try a different one. But they have like there's one playlist in here that's just called Ultimate Meetings. What is the playlist for an ultimate meeting? What is an ultimate meeting? I don't know. Do you? Yeah. We're a little bit quieter here today than usual, which is actually ideal for me right now because no one needs to see this. Although I will probably be sharing this after anyway, because I know some people go back and like to do sprints even if they miss them. So I'm happy to provide that service. So our next sprint is going to be another 15 minutes. If you didn't hear the timer or something and you're coming back a bit late to the conversation, again, feel free to let us know how you're doing. Let us know what you are working on, because I would love to hear. I am editing Centera. Oh yeah, I'm on I'm on page 54. It's currently 417 pages, 112,124 words, and it's just going to get longer before it gets shorter. I'm in that phase of the edit. I would really love to put this book out this year, but I can't really see that happening. It might be a 2024 type release because I also have to give my editor the time to go through it, and it's no easy task. So I'm going to set us up for another 15 minutes here. Oop. Why are you beeping at me? It's beeping at me. I haven't even started it. Okay. Why? Okay, I think this timer wants to start. So I'm going to start the timer. We have another 15 minutes. I hope you all do well and get some words in. Talk to you in 15 minutes. time's up on that one for anyone who was writing. Everyone start 29,000 words in. Nice. When did you start? And how many words are you hoping for? Is that more than you're wanting? I usually wind up aiming for like 70,000 because that's about expected for the genres I'm writing in. Although with Sintera, all bets are off. I'm George Martining Sintera. Um, I don't think it'll be quite that. I mean, actually, it's 417 pages. It could be. I just need to make sure that all of those words and pages are necessary. I'm actually worried about the first few chapters because I have this lead in to the the call to adventure, the characters winding up in the fantasy world. And I do go on quite a bit. Like I'm on page 59 right now, and they have not got there yet. So I do a lot of lead up. And to me right now, I think I'm really setting a good foundation of like who these people are beforehand and what their lives are like. But I worry because I have some events in there that like really might not be necessary. But I mean, that'll be for an editor to catch. And beta readers. I need other opinions. Not that I'm at that point yet, but I will be at some point. So I mean, if anyone wants to beta read, stay tuned. But yeah, like I guess one thing I can say that doesn't spoil it too much, I have this whole storyline of one of the characters like moving into an old family castle. And this is a story that I started writing when I was 13. So when you're writing when you're younger, with me anyway, I find that I'll like really delve into these things that aren't necessarily pertinent to the story, but now I'm so attached to them and I love them that I don't want to change it. So like I've written it well and I think it's enjoyable to read. But when the main point of a story is the character going to a fantasy world and like that is the story, I don't know if it needs to be quite so complex in their day-to-day life leading up to that. And I'm looking at things like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, where the events that happen before the big event, they're a little more mundane. Like you get to see the world, but it's not any specific big thing of like, oh, we're moving and all this stuff. But so I don't know. I know that's not really much to judge on, but it is something that I worry editors and beta readers may point out, in which case I'll have to drop some stuff that I really love and rewrite like a decent sized chunk of the book, like a quarter of it. So we'll see. Hopefully people enjoy it as much as I do. And if it is not meant to be, this is one of those things where I can always save it for something else. Hoping for 30,000. Okay, looks like, yeah, I mean, okay, cool. Yeah, if you're already up to 29,000 and you're not close to being finished, I would say it's probably going to be a bit longer. But 60,000 isn't bad. Especially for a first draft, right? Because you can edit it down and it might not be as much. But like 60,000 is a really good amount for a novel. I find. I think 70,000 is what publishers usually aim for with sort of like fantasy, sci-fi, that sort of thing, unless you're doing like, the mega epic, and in which case that's hard to sell, I think. So I have a lot of fun ahead of me with that one. And one is 33,000. Okay. Yeah, like I would you what would class a novella? Would that be more novella? Is that the sort of the label that you're going for, or just sort of like more, I wouldn't say bite size because 30,000 is still, a good length. I guess that's kind of novella length. Novellas are also something I'd like to experiment with along with short stories. So I see that we've got like 4 people here right now. So if anyone has not said hi, feel free to say hi. No one's gonna shun you here. Um, It looks like it's gonna rain. Darn. It was predicted that it was going to be a rainy day today, which is fine if I'm, staying in. But then it looked like it was going to be nice, and I got kind of excited about going out for a walk because it's nice. But now it looks like it might rain. But I don't know. It's probably for the best. I need to sleep. I should nap after this. I think that's probably a bit more intelligent. Anyhow, I am going to get us into our next 15-minute sprint. Oh, cut the casket girls in two. Yeah, yeah, that would work. Like if you are aiming for that novella length, if you're aiming for novella length, then I think that would probably be cool. You could have a part one and part two. Yeah, I like that. But I also really like writing things in parts. I think it's fun. It's just fun to put together like, okay, this is the first one, this is second, and then you can, build anticipation and stuff like that. So I definitely vote a two-part novella series. That would be cool. And I just love that title too. I really want to read this one. Getting ready for another 15 minutes. And I think since we are a bit of a quieter group here today, I'm going to wrap up with a half hour. So we'll do either like one or two more 15-minute, and then we'll end the stream with a half hour longer sprint to just get some more stuff in, because I'm also doing well with editing today, even though I'm tired and headachy. So that's nice. Okay, setting up our timer. That's going to start beeping at me again. Talk to you in 15 minutes. Okay, well, that was aggressively happy music. Everything here is so upbeat. I just want some like moody, stormy music, but that's what you get when you go with Zoom music, I guess. Golna, thank you for commenting on my musical decisions. The kind, oh, you like the darker ones too, the kind that sort of sink into your bones and make you want to write. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna get back to my better stream setup probably after camp when I have a bit of time to just try different things. By the way, everyone say hi to Scarlett. Scarlett is the other, well, one of three of us municipal liaisons in Montreal. She is awesome and really ushered me into the whole world of NaNoWriMo. It is nice to see you, Scarlett. I had an idea to read. I don't know if anyone like noticed me laughing to myself when I was writing. I've been finding some parts in this particular story that I enjoy. Like I've let it sit enough that I can enjoy what I've written now. And I remembered this. And I was like, oh yeah, I was feeling so good about myself when I wrote this, and it's kind of funny. I mean, if you like this sort of thing. So I'm going to read you a little excerpt. This is I have multiple POVs in this story, which I've recently learned are hard to sell. So add that to the list of hard sells in this book. But anyhow, this is from the point of view of Althea, and she's still in our normal world, and she's sort of like she's a bookworm, and she's quiet, and she works at a library. She just graduated high school, and she is heading home and she's been seeing things. Like she's been seeing strange things that are kind of like transparent, ghostly, and then they disappear and she can't really like interact with them at all. And this is the first time she's able to interact with one of these strange things that comes up. uh, okay. Ugh, as my wig gets in my face. All right. Suffice it to say, as she took note of the lights flickering around, wondering if they even were lights, she did not expect to trip over a massive root right on the clear path she walked down. Even less expected was the realization that the root was not a root. Oi, you might want to watch where you're going, girlie, a gruff voice exclaimed from somewhere around her feet. Jumping back, Althea stared down, coming eye to eye with a garden gnome. No, he was far too ugly to be that. His size was about the same, but his composition was closer to that of a sandbag. Dressed in a cotton shirt, denim pants, and well-muddied boots, the creature's nearly there neck protruded from a loose collar and held up a head like a slab of meat, ruddy pink with lumpy features, small eyes, and wiry hair, from what she could see under the wool cap. I'm terribly sorry, she managed to get out as he slapped the dirt off his pants, shaking his head. The creature let out a snort, unsatisfied. Being who you are and all still doesn't give you the right to stomp around not thinking of us down here on the ground. Althea composed herself, unsure of the best approach to take. She attempted an introduction. I truly am sorry. I'm not used to anyone else walking this path. My name's Althea. What's yours? I know who you are. Name's Trill, Trill of the Knoll, Pixie, and that's all there is to say about it. How do you know my name? Don't you mind about that. I'll be off now. He gave himself one last dusting, looked up at her, and gave a curt nod of his chin. Places to go, sheep to steal. And with that, he slammed his hands down on the ground and was gone. Looking around wildly, Althea could find no hint of his form anywhere. He had vanished entirely in the blink of an eye, leaving only his bodily odor, which even now was being carried off through the trees and into the evening far away. She stood there for a moment longer, watching the sun slip below the horizon when a chill began to creep up her spine. She was able at last to move her feet and continue on her way home. Not one to center herself at much of anything, Althea was having a hard time with the thoughts swirling around in her head. Strange creatures appearing that only she could see, and now they knew her name. I like the pixie description. um, oh yeah, you do alternating POV. Yes, I believe I read some of that on God, what AO3. I love an alternating POV. I really do. Like I'm a strong, character-driven writer, and so I really like getting into all of their heads and going from all the points of view. I think it's fun. So, I mean, if that's out of vogue, who needs Vogue? Hello, Ginia, and thank you. I'm trying to get better at reading my stuff. I tend to go a bit too quickly and I get worried about it, but I think it's one of those things that you just have to practice, practice, practice. So if I find something I actually like, I'm gonna read it out. And yeah, it's good when people enjoy it, because this is the project, one of the projects that I'm very like, I'm very dedicated to. I'm precious about it. I want it to do well, and I'm putting lots and lots of effort into it. So hopefully it's successful. So we're at 3:16. I want to wrap up with a half-hour sprint. I was going to start at 3:30, but we'll probably do our half hour and then just like wrap things up for a little bit, because we usually like to chat a bit at the end, and I think that'll take us to 4. All right. You're saying apparently ACOTAR is in vogue, and look how bad that is. I'm glad to not be in vogue. I feel yes. So I haven't read that, and I feel like it's like heresy if you dabble in the YA world at all to say you don't like it. But from what I've watched some pretty detailed reviews on it with a lot of readings of stuff that's in the book, and I can't say it's something that I think I would enjoy. I'm sorry for anyone who does. I mean, that is the nature of literature. You are free to like what you like, and that's a good thing. That's why we have variety. That's why we have many different kinds of writers. But yeah, I find that those things that really like hit it big, I mean, Twilight, they're not always good. So popular does not equal good. So what does that mean if any of my stuff gets popular? Uh-oh. Talked myself into a corner. I'm kidding. I don't really write expecting to make it be super popular, but I just hope that a few people will enjoy reading the things that I enjoy writing. With that, Yarg. Is that a Yarg at ACOTAR, or a Yarg at Twilight, or there's so many things, or a Yarg at my opinion? Hopefully not a Yarg at my opinion. I get called an elitist all the time. Well, sorry, what do you want me to do? Reach for the middle? Yeah, I mean, like that is the thing. I'm very bad at being opinionated online, because I went through well, first I went through my angsty teenage phase where I was very very opinionated and got into like lots of fights on Gaia Online. And then when I first went vegan, I was in a vegan group that was very trollish, and I mean, also when you first like become vegan, you tend to go through your like evangelizing phase, which I'm well out of now. But you get like very dedicated. So I got into lots of fights, and I feel like at this point I am so afraid of getting into that sort of thing again. I just avoid it because I've had enough of it for an entire lifetime. So that makes me oh, Yarg to Twilight. Yeah. I think everyone can agree with that. Even the people who like it wouldn't. I haven't met anyone who enjoyed Twilight who would say it's a great piece of literature. They're just like, I enjoyed it because of, this, and this, and it was just fun. It was like, junk food writing. And I think I just missed the boat for that. I was raised on way too much Buffy to appreciate Twilight. So sorry to Twilight fans. I actually have all the books that I bought a couple of years ago because I was planning on reading them and sort of reviewing them. I had this idea of doing some like vampire literature comparisons, which I might still do. But I just like, I tried and I wanted to jump out a window. So I just like, it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't even funny. I couldn't. You find yourself defending Twilight more these days, not because you like it, because you don't think it really deserves the hatred. I am actually shocked that people are still shitting on it so much. like that there are still active, like reviews that actively go up and it still gets tons and tons of views and interest. I guess it's turned into this thing that people love to hate. So I agree. I couldn't defend it because I don't even like I don't really know it, but the like years ago I definitely had a lot of fun hating on it, and now, like I was saying, when I picked it up to do this comparison, I just was like, I can't even get into hating it that hard. Lost Boys, yes. Oh, it's so good. That's one I would really like to rewatch soon. You are writing a vampire novel currently. Awesome. Titled it Minge Molotov. I want to read this. I am always up for a good vampire novel. We were actually going to go see Renfield tonight, but everyone involved was too busy working on stuff, so we have decided to reschedule it to next Friday. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that because I love Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage. And then I just saw the trailer for what's it called? The Last Journey of the Demeter. They've taken the one segment on the ship where Dracula is going to like he's traveling on the ship and he kills everyone on the ship, I'm pretty sure is what happened in the novel. And that's why it's called The Last Voyage. And that looks pretty good, especially because they've done Dracula in that kind of Nosferatu style. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too. I like my mom will say that she's like, oh, there's too much vampire stuff. I'm just sick of it. But I will always give more vampire stuff a chance. It's my favorite. I always wind up having some form of vampires in the stuff I work on. Okay, so I think our timing is good now to start our final longer sprint. So we're going to do half an hour and then we will come back. We will reconvene and discuss how we did on that. Just since 30 Days of Night. Sorry, now I just want to talk about vampire stuff. Yeah, that one is amazing. I was really into that movie for a while, and also the graphic novels, but I watched the movie first. And yeah, the graphic novels are amazing. I've met the creators a couple times. My dad did some stuff with them, I think. But yeah, if anyone here has not indulged in 30 Days of Night, definitely check it out. It's unique. I really like when a vampire story is done in some different twisted way. Okay. So what I usually do before oh no, now it's gonna beep at me. No. What I usually do before launching into the final sprint is some people don't like to stick around for the longer sprint. So please, if you are heading out, check the pinned comment in the chat right now, because that has the link for my Discord server. So if you haven't joined yet, you should join, and then you could sprint with us during the week. And it also has a link to the Stygian Collection Kickstarter. We have 24 days left. We are still actively fundraising. There are new rewards going up. If you're planning to buy the anthology, like anyway, when it comes out, you may as well get it through the Kickstarter and help support us as we create it, because like it's a pre-sale and it's actually going to, well, the low line for the book is going to cost you less than it will to buy the book when it's out. So you could save on the book by supporting us early. So I highly recommend checking that out. And if you only have $1, I know that there's sort of a psychological thing sometimes where if you want to support something, you don't want to be that person who gives $1 or, you know, like $5 or something like that. You want to be able to give something a bit more substantial. But honestly, with the Kickstarter algorithm, that like every bit counts, because the more activity there is on the Kickstarter, the more it'll get pushed into the algorithm. So like we appreciate every tiny little thing, even if you can't donate anything and you just want to share it around because it's amazing. Oh, actually, I will show you some top secret stuff very quickly. We have some art that has come in from our amazing illustrator, Lori of Nile Illustration. And we're gonna put this stuff up and use it for promo soon, but these are some like little illustrations that we have, and they are so cool. So this is the level of artistry that you're going to see throughout this anthology. So not only are you going to see some incredible, be able to read some incredible writing by the authors of YouTube. Oh, look at this guy. He makes me think of the characters in Labyrinth. um, not only will you get to read some great horror stories, some philosophical explorations, but you will get to see beautiful art as well. So it's really, really well worth it. Okay, I think I've shilled that enough. It is time to get into our final sprint, and I will talk to you all in half an hour. I wasn't ready for that. I'm on page 72. I've added like 10 pages today. It's pretty good. Got to a chapter I don't like as much. I might have to rewrite the whole thing. It could be better. Oh God. I'm allergic to rats and we have rats, and I thought that the allergies were like totally neutralized. I was actually just bragging to my dad about that last night because he's very concerned about my allergies having adopted rats. But yeah, it still hits sometimes and I get sneezy. Um, the question of what constitutes a s'mores or a toasted marshmallow in writing camp. Um, I would say those great little bits of writing that you either write during camp or find and edit, like I had a bit earlier today, when you just find something that's, you know, like chef's kiss. That's your s'mores. Make toast, spread Nutella, then add marshmallow fluff. That too. I hope everyone got some good words in. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this one. I've been tired and out of it, but even so, I was at least able to get into the writing, even with the music, which did not match what I'm writing at all. I guess it could have kind of matched the segment with the funny pixie built like a sandbag. That can sort of fit the more positive stuff. But yeah, I actually just want to keep working on this. And that's probably what I'll do. See if I can nap a bit and then get back to it. So I might actually be, I mean, I shouldn't promise this because a lot of the time when I say it, I don't wind up doing it, but I might be on Discord while I write later. So if you have not joined the Discord yet, please do. And if you are in there and you're logged on later, perhaps we will do some more writing together. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, not a whole lot. Oh yeah, I did want to give a little update on my channel. That's what it's called. That's what we're on right now, my channel. I wanted to give a little update because I know I keep saying that I'm going to get back to videos. The thing is, I'm having a lot of trouble nailing down, oh God, my sinuses. So glad I had some Kleenex here. I'm having a lot of trouble nailing down my location for filming, and I'm really stuck on this one location. And the point that I'm at right now is that I probably have to take a day off work to do it, but I'm in my probation period at this new job until the end of May. So it kind of sucks because I was planning to have a video out for May, but like this is pushing it to June and I'm not really sure what to do. Because like I don't have a lot of time for doing videos. So one part of me is like, okay, good. I have more time to wait before doing this. And I haven't even finished the script yet anyway. And it's a longer thing that's going to take a bunch of time to edit too. But I also feel like I should be posting some stuff. But then also the last video I posted, I said like the next thing you see is going to be my totally new content. So I think I'm kind of stuck in a place where I have to just wait until it can be perfect. So if anyone here has been waiting on a new video, I apologize that it's still not out because it was going to come at the end of April, I think. No, it was, I'm so off with my timelines. It was going to be out at the end of March, but yeah, that's not happening. That did not happen. And now at this rate, it might not be till sometime in June, just because I can take well, I won't need the day. I could take like the morning off to film, something like that. Cause I just, this location is so cool. It's so perfect. And I want it. I don't want to have to work with something else. So, yeah, it'll be good when it is up. Until then, I mean, just like I am doing other things. I'm doing lots of other things with Stygian Society. So follow my social media. I'm also gonna try and figure out my live stream schedule for after camp because I realized that all of my Saturdays are busy. So if I am gonna be doing a weekly live stream, it's gonna be on a different day and it might be during the week. So also stay tuned for that. I'll make an announcement about everything. Allergic to rats, a Stephen King angle. Rats promised I wouldn't bring him up again. Stephen King angle. Nah, just sadly allergic to rats, and they're one of my favorite animals. So I just suffer through it because they're so cute. They're so smart, and I love them. Scarlett, you managed to correct a whole semester's worth of assignments for one student. Nice. That's good. That's good for a productivity stream. I hope that you can get to your chapter when that's finished too. So I will wrap this up. Thank you as always. Oh my God, the night shift. Thank you as always, everyone, for joining me. I appreciate having you all here. You did help me get a little bit of energy going in my fatigued, dead, delirious day. And hopefully I can carry that through into the evening. I hope that all of you are having a day and a weekend that is just as wonderful as you are. Join my social media, join my Discord. We'll talk more there. And otherwise, I will see you at next week's live stream where we will be having campfire stories. So I'm looking